The morning Yusuf turned 8, he ran to the square before breakfast. His mother called after him from the window. He was already gone. Omar was waiting at the corner. He always waited at the corner. But that morning he was holding something behind his back, and he was smiling the way he only smiled when he knew something Yusuf didn't. He brought his hands forward. A ball. Old, worn, the leather cracked on one side. But to Yusuf, it was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. Omar said, "Happy birthday. I saved for 3 months. Don't tell my mother how much it cost." Yusuf took it with both hands. He turned it over slowly. He ran his thumb along the crack in the leather. He said, "I won't tell anyone." Omar said, "Bring it tomorrow. Tomorrow I play better." They played until the sun was gone, and Yusuf's mother called him home 3 times before he went. He carried the ball under his arm the whole way. He slept with it on the floor beside his bed, one hand hanging down to touch it in the dark. The next morning he ran to the square. Omar wasn't there. He waited. He sat on the low wall where they always sat and held the ball in his lap and watched the corner where Omar always appeared. 1 hour. Then another. The sun moved slowly across the stones. The square filled and emptied with people who were not Omar. He went home. His mother looked at his face and said nothing. She put food in front of him, and he ate without tasting it. The next morning he went back, and the next, and the next. He always brought the ball. On the 4th day, he heard it before he understood it. A sound moving through the street like weather. People gathered the way people only gather when something has broken that cannot be fixed. He stood at the edge of it and looked and saw what he saw and understood it the way children understand things. Completely, instantly, without words, without the mercy of not knowing. The ball slipped from his hands. He didn't feel it go. He only knew it was gone when he heard it hit the stones. It rolled slowly, without hurry, across the square and came to rest against the far wall. He looked at it for a long time. He thought about Omar's hands bringing it forward from behind his back. The smile. "Don't tell my mother how much it cost." He did not go to pick it up. He walked home. Through the baker and the man who sold newspapers and the old woman who always nodded at him, and he saw none of them. He walked through the door and down the hallway and stood in the entrance to the kitchen where his mother was standing at the stove with her back to him. She heard him come in. She didn't turn around. She waited the way mothers wait when they already know something is coming and are gathering themselves to receive it. Yusuf stood in the doorway. He thought about Omar, about the corner, about tomorrow I play better, and the 3 months of saving, and the crack in the leather that his thumb already knew by heart. He opened his mouth. And what he said was, "Mama, I'm hungry. What's for breakfast?" She turned around. She looked at his face the way mothers look when they are reading everything that isn't being said. She saw it all. The square and the sound and the ball against the wall and all of it, every piece in his 8-year-old face. She said, "Sit down, my love. I'll make you something warm." And he sat, and she cooked, and the kitchen filled with warmth, and neither of them said anything else. Because he was 8 years old, and he had seen something that had no words yet. And she was his mother, and she knew that some griefs arrive before we have the language for them. And the only answer, the only one that has ever existed, is a warm kitchen and a mother's hands and the smell of something cooking. Some things cannot be fixed, and some things, small, ordinary, warm, are the only answer there is. Somewhere in the square, against the far wall, the ball was still there. The one Omar saved 3 months for. The one that cost too much. The one Yusuf was supposed to bring back tomorrow. Tomorrow never came, but the ball stayed, as if it was still waiting for the game to begin.